and welcome to the Narrowing Path, Walking the Spiritual Walk. My name is Stephen Einstein. Thank you all for joining me again tonight as we do today's daily reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. And this, of course, will be fresh to you, fresh to me, meaning you'll get my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading, as this will be the first time that I hear it or read it right here on this podcast with y'all. And I really am hoping that today is just a follow-up to yesterday's. Yesterday's I really enjoyed. It was a good reminder for me. We were talking about meekness and how the virtue of being meek, meaning less of me and more of that power, that God in my life, right? That's what we talk about there. And it doesn't mean weak or cowardly or easily influenced more. So it's a sense of submission to the power of God in that usage here. So I really hope it expands on that today. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into it then. Here's November 5th reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. He who lives in meekness is without fear, knowing the highest and having the lowest under his feet. I love that. The meek man shines in darkness and flourishes in obscurity. Meekness cannot boast, nor advertise itself, nor thrive on popularity. It is practiced and is seen and not seen. Being a spiritual quality, it is perceived only by the eye of the Spirit. Those who are not spiritually awakened see it not, nor do they love it, being enamored of and blinded by worldly shows and appearances, nor does history take note of the meek man. His history chronicles the earthly glories, not the heavenly acts. Yet though he lives in obscurity, he cannot be hidden. How can light be hid? He continues to shine after he has withdrawn himself from the world and is worshipped by the world which knew him not. The meek man is found in the time of trial. When other men fall, he stands. Wow. I'm so, first of all, very excited that we continue to expand on this concept of meekness. Secondly, this paints for us a pretty interesting picture as we go throughout this reading. I'm excited to go through this line by line again, because I'm not going to lie. Sometimes when I read the entirety of the reading in one shot, I can get a general kind of guide of where we're going. But sometimes James Allen paints in so many concepts or perspectives and wordings that I really do have to slow down and break apart. And I think this is going to be one of them. And I think the overarching theme here is the meek man claims no spiritual or no material or social prestige or privilege. He actually, I don't know if avoids is the right word, but intentionally does not engage with those things. But yet stands strong and resolute in times of trial. So it's I'm looking forward to this. Excited just to be talking about this still, because it's such a great topic in a time that's, especially in a time that's filled with self, in a time that's filled with an ideal of self-serving and comforting self, maybe finding demanding the world to make you feel good, and, which really is just selfishness and self-centeredness filled all the way through. So meekness is a quality that has largely been lost, I believe, today, and is one we probably really need to be considering and thinking about again. I know I need a constant reminder of it personally. I really do. It's a defect of mine. I'm just I love grandiose thinking and self-serving. I have a self-serving nature. So, all right, let's go through this one again. He who lives in meekness is without fear, knowing the highest and having the lowest under his feet. Knowing the highest and having the lowest under his feet. I just had a thought. Just there's somebody in popular society of the day that has kind of done a reinterpretation of the word meekness as well. I'm just gonna write down something that occurred to me, and I'll say it in just a second. Okay, it's about meekness and uh, a understanding of it. Maybe just occurred to me. So okay, so there's someone out there. I won't refer to him by name, not because I don't believe in what he's saying, but just to keep this more of neutral. Um, who says that meekness is having the swords and the capability to wield them, but keeping them sheathed. So almost the potential to be dangerous, which is really the potential to be selfish and self-serving. So, and this first line kind of relates to this, I believe. He who lives in meekness is without fear. Knowing the highest, so knowing the virtuous and having the lowest under his feet. I believe that's when we choose, isn't it? Like, and what I wrote down is a meek man is a virtuous man because meek is less of us, more of God or creator or that source, creative energy, that power that flows through us. So, if that's the case, then practicing spiritual principle and virtue every time we do that is a action to follow God. So it's really a following of God, allowing Him as allowing alignment with Him. So meekness is really achieved by virtuous behavior, which aligns with that having and knowing how to wield the sword or capable of handling a sword, whatever I said previously. The capability of being dangerous, fully knowing that, and then choosing not to be. That's being virtuous. That's the same concept we talked about, fully knowing how you lie and how you could lie and manipulate and then choosing to be honest, right? Every character defect, every self-serving behavior we've ever done as the things under our feet when we choose to do the opposite because it's the right thing to do. So that's how I'm interpreting this. And I've got to move along, I guess, here. The meek man shines in the darkness and flourishes in obscurity. That's pretty amazing because the light comes through us. The light comes through the meek man, the peace and the presence and the light of that power greater than ourselves, that righteousness. Meekness cannot boast nor advertise itself nor thrive on popularity. That's what I was talking about earlier. Meekness is not a quality made up of embracing the concepts of this physical world socially and economically, materially. Meekness cannot boast, advertise itself, nor thrive in popularity. It's not somebody that's out on the forefront. It is practiced. Again, virtues. These virtues are practiced into an individual's life and aligns with that power greater than ourselves. Being a spiritual quality, it is perceived only by the eye of the spirit. So that quality that people might describe of us, maybe a meek man, a peaceful man, a calm man, a strong man, right? Those are qualities that are observable about us that people may use to describe us. But what we do as individuals is we follow spiritual virtue and principle. And then those observable qualities begin to manifest. We can't create them. We can't force it to happen. We become that through the practice of spiritual living. Those who are not spiritually awakened see it not, nor do they love it, being enamored of and blinded by worldly shows and appearances. Most believe in the awakening, or the not the awakening, the obtaining of popularity and prestige and money, material wealth, societal wealth, you can say too. They're blinded by it. That's the end goal for many. Darn it, I keep hitting the mic. I apologize for that. That's the end goal for many. So when that does not necessarily align with what a meek man is doing, a meek individual is doing, they don't even see the quality because it doesn't align with what they believe should be the goal. Nor does history take note of the meek man. It doesn't necessarily make waves. The meek man does not make the history books. History chronicles the earthly glories, not the heavenly acts. Earthly glories, which are usually ego fulfilling. What do you read about in the history books? Those, or at least primarily, those that have conquered, those that have obtained power, those that have created such dramatic impacts on society and culture through the use of force and selfishness and self-serving ideologies. The acts of kindness and love and everything of those natures are not the emotion provoking roller coasters that people will write about or take note of. They're usually unobserved by most. But thank God for them. Yet though he lives in obscurity, he cannot be hidden. How can light be hid? He continues to shine after he has withdrawn himself from the world, and is worshipped by the world which knew him not. Interesting. See, yeah, though he lives in obscurity, he cannot be hidden. Virtue just shines through a lot of people. He might not engage in society the way people would expect anyone to, but these individuals will stand out upon interacting with them. They'll be spoken highly of. That's what we're talking about in the next one, too. People will have this, we'll say that there's this energy about him. He's just got that look to him, right? Because they're at that perfect peace and that perfect state of being, because they're practicing virtuous living and principled living. And meekness is observed, practiced, and is worshipped by the world which knew him not. I'm interpreting that as they did not know, the world might not know him as the man that he was, but as the acts that he had done. But I'm not sure what the fullest intention of that line means, which is kind of disappointing. I'm going to have to ponder that. This is one of the longer podcasts already, so I'm not sure. Worshipped by the world which knew him not. Hmm. I'm thinking of the biblical and religious reference that you do not know me. I never knew you. Is that what it is? Or you never knew me? People observe and worship the individual that achieves such a state, but they never try practicing it for themselves, maybe. I'm sure it sounds something like that. But now this last line, the meek man is found in the time of trial. The meek man is found in the time of trial when when other men fall, he stands. The meek man stands upon spiritual principle, spiritual moral, spiritual virtue, spiritual law. So when other men bow and fall, the meek, which have allowed themselves to be a vessel for the power of the universe and God, stand strong, stand resolute, as they know they are aligned with something much greater than themselves. Wow, what a beautiful reading. I love this concept of meekness. It's an interesting thought to hopefully one day strive to be a meek man. Never was something I thought would be a goal of mine, right? So anyway, but thank y'all for joining me today. Incredible reading. I loved it. Loved every word in this one. It was it got me thinking. And whenever I can walk away from one with a little bit different perspective, then it's a win for me. So I hope that had an impact on you as well. I'll be looking forward till tomorrow's for sure. So until next time, thanks.